Wow, we are live. Finally, huh? Right. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I just woke up. Like I was up all Saturday, early Saturday morning. I think what I did. This is really bizarre. I swear I'm not making this up. Did I mention this on stream? Well, not everybody watched my stream. So I got up today to stream Luigi's Mansion 3. My intention was to finish it today, but wait a minute. My intention was to finish Luigi's Mansion 3 today, but I ended up looking at my clock and realized that I had only slept for like an hour and a half. Like I'm not even joking. I somehow uh went to bed, I went to sleep, woke up like an hour and a half later feeling better than I do now actually. It was just unbelievable. Oof. Unbelievable. Oof. I just uh I was very surprised. And I did play a little bit of Luigi's Mansion, like 2.5 hours worth of it, but I'm still nowhere near done. I'm hoping I finish it next time, and I think I will do it on stream. So maybe after the chill stream, because I'm not doing anything tonight. So yep, definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, it's I don't think I've talked about Luigi's Mansion 3 at all on this channel, which is kind of a shame because Luigi's Mansion 3 is by far the best game to have come out in the past week. It is fantastic in every sense of the word. Probably the best Luigi's Mansion game. Well, best is kind of a strong word because it's a lot like Dark Moon in that respect, where it feels as if some people would prefer Dark Moon over it, and others will prefer the original. Like prefer, that's the key word here. I don't think anyone who likes the original or Dark Moon is really going to have a problem with Luigi's Mansion 3. Like from a pure design standpoint, like Luigi's Mansion 3 is perfectly fine. I like everything about it, nearly everything about it. The only thing I have an issue with is that sometimes the generic encounters with enemies is kind of boring and kind of uninspired, which is really disappointing. Considering the original and especially Dark Moon have like really fun enemy encounters. This one feels like a step back almost, which is kind of weird. They added a bunch of stuff to it, but like all that new stuff, like bashing the control stick, like having to get behind enemies, having to deal with them, like trying to block flashes of light. It's boring. Like it doesn't have the same sort of like fun sort of method to it. It's just the same thing over and over again. It's very disappointing in that regard. But other than that, though, it's a massive improvement. Like that's only the minor enemy encounters. Like the actual portrait ghosts, or not portrait ghosts, the actual like major ghost encounters are like great. Probably the best they've ever been. Like it doesn't have the same personality the original has, but that might not be a bad thing because this one feels every floor seems to have its own boss with its own unique setting and aesthetic and gimmick, and it never gets old. It's great. I love it. Love Luigi's Mansion 3 so far. If the combat was better, it would probably be my game of the year, but as it stands now, it got kind of repetitive really quickly, which is a shame, but I don't know what it is, but for some reason, a lot of these really good Switch games kind of have repetitive combat. They do other things really well, like Astral Chain has the I wouldn't say Astral Chain has repetitive combat. What am I talking about? Astral Chain has more like there's more going on in these games, and they're trying to do different things. Like Luigi's Mansion 3, out of the three, I think has the best puzzle solving. Like it's amazing how unique and different these puzzles are. That they're very Luigi's Mansion-ish puzzles too. They don't feel like derivative of Zelda at all. This wasn't meant to be a review stream. That's all I've been talking about so far is Luigi's Mansion 3. But oof. I could talk about other things like Death Stranding, but unfortunately, I play real video games. That reminds me, I need to watch some films tonight. Hopefully after... It's been a while. Like, I need to get back into watching anime. Like, I never finished Ippo. It was like my favorite thing ever earlier this year, and I never finished it. Mostly because I'm so busy. I need to work it into my regular schedule. I love Ippo. Ippo is like legitimately my favorite thing ever. Luigi's Mansion 3, I enjoy it. Like, it's probably like an 8 out of 10 for me. Maybe like... It's perfectly fun. There's nothing really terrible about it. It just there are just aspects of it that feel like they're not as good as they could have been, which is kind of disappointing, unfortunately. Like the animations in Luigi's Mansion 3 are just fantastic. Like legitimately, I would say better than Odyssey, to be completely honest with you. Like I think they have more personality. They're funny. They're beautiful. Like a lot of people were talking about this game being like one of the best looking games on Switch. And for one thing, I'm really glad that people are getting past this notion that having good visuals means that the game has to be realistic, because Luigi's Mansion 3 is not realistic at all. If anything, it's less realistic than the original, but that doesn't stop it from being this really, really gorgeous game. You know, legitimately the one of the best looking games on Switch. I love it. I love it. Love it. What for the wait? What is that? What is your hashtag for the Corporate Slave Awards 2019? I don't know. Maybe you're aware of this, but I actually roasted the Corporate Slave Awards on Twitter. I have no idea what they're doing because I really don't care. I think I'm in it because I was on it last year and I got really, really far. But that was like my first year I made the bracket, so I have no idea what they're going to do. Probably will. I probably will win it because I think I'm actually I'm very, very I've been very, very critical of them online. Like it's just it keeps happening where they keep saying something stupid on Twitter and I keep making fun of them, and it's great. I'm sure I'm going to take it this year. I can't think of anyone who annoys as many PlayStation and PC fanboys as I do. And the Corporate Slave Awards, of course, are like a bunch of PC elitists. So I'm sure they'll have like something bad to say about me. But like it doesn't really matter because like it's just a bunch of like losers in their mom's basement telling you that you're trying to like make you feel bad about yourself. It's really not something I take seriously. Especially when there's like infighting there, where they're like, there's people starting their own Corporate Slave Awards because they don't like how the others are being run. And it's just, it's just ridiculous. I don't respect it at all. Oh really? I thought I was. Especially that like PC video I did. How did I get on last year? I don't even remember. Was I like nominated? There were a bunch of people like pushing for me. Like I know Video Game Lover 58 was, and I know his posse was, but I don't really know what's up with that. Because like I don't really follow what they actually do. You know, it's just sometimes they say something ridiculous, and I think I'm following them on Twitter. And they just like attack someone for some reason. Oh, in the attic. That's right. Black Ball lives in an attic. That's right. I completely forgot. So is that like the PC gamer stereotype? Like they live in attics, not basements? What's the difference? Is it? Oh, because you store like old irrelevant things in the attic, right? Things you will like never use again. Well, I guess basements can be like that too. Personally, I would put like my old things in the attic, but that's just me. Actually, I don't have an attic. Oof, that's kind of a oof. Yeah, my home only has like one floor, so I'm just like, I keep thinking about things I want to do, like to improve my living situation, and I keep coming up with like, renovating the house and stuff like that. But it comes off like, wait a minute, I don't have a second floor, so it mostly just comes down to like buying stuff for the rooms I do have. So. Let's see. Yeah. So, speaking of the PC gamers, the whole Death Stranding thing has been like the biggest shitstorm of the year. Like, holy crap, there is a lot going on here. I'm not even sure if I can like get to this in a chill stream. I was honestly thinking that like I would have to. Yesterday, I was thinking I was going to have to like do an actual. Oops. I was thinking I was going to have to do an actual Death Stranding dedicated stream to like cover everything because there's just so much here. And keep in mind, I've only seen a couple of clips. I have not seen a playthrough of it, and I've even heard rumors that Sony is taking down footage of the game online to kind of damage control it, to kind of downplay the notion that this game is terrible, because that's the impression that everyone gets by watching it. This is how bad Death Stranding is. You can watch that video I uploaded of that one line, and you'll immediately like realize that this game is bullshit. There is no way you can look at that line and think that like it's in any way funny, engaging, like deep or whatever. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Legitimately, like we had this conversation online. Like, Death Stranding might actually be on par with The Room for its awkward dialogue, its ridiculous bullshit, and its nonsensical story. Like it has like the same sort of ingredients, right? Like it's this ridiculous thing that takes itself way, way too seriously and kind of becomes like hilarious as a result. Like I think my reaction to Death Stranding was like about the same as like film goers' reaction to like seeing The Room for the first time. Like you just become like completely horrified by it, because like you can tell like this thing was meant to be like taken completely seriously. So as a result, it becomes like, okay, wow, this is ridiculous. And then like you sort of like start thinking it's funny that like something like that could exist. It's unbelievable. Like just the clear decline from Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 1, or even the MSX games to this is like unbelievable. What happened? What happened to Kojima? This has to be like, there has to be a story here, because like a lot of people are saying that like there was some other writer for MGS that like did all the work while Kojima like took all the credit. And I'm sure that's close to the truth, but we don't know. I don't know for sure, right? I don't have the knowledge. Like I'm not comfortable like suggesting that's the case when I'm not like 100% certain, like I am with the whole Sony conspiracy thing. Like I'm not completely 100% like certain what happened here. It's Floor Kids. Is it that good? I heard of it. Like I saw it on a Indie Direct, and it kind of the thing about Floor Kids, the thing that kind of turned me off from that one. it's hip hop like inspired, and I was just like, I hate hip hop. I do. I want nothing to do with it. I hate the lifestyle. I hate the culture. I hate being surrounded by other people that I don't care about. It's just, ugh. I mean, there are lots of really good indie games on Switch, so I wasn't like put off by it at all. But I'm happy you're enjoying it though. Seriously though, like indie games, I think, are at their best when they sort of like appeal to you personally, where it feels like you're sort of like discovering something that like you've never heard of before and are like experiencing like completely blind. That kind of happened to me with the indie game I finished earlier this morning, actually. Wow. Was it really this morning? Wow. This morning, Omen Sight, right? The game I just reviewed, really early in the morning. I finished it. I got the good ending. I did all this stuff, and it was like the most magical experience I've had in a very, very, very long time. It was really, really fun. I love Open Sight. I would highly recommend it. Well, if you like dark fantasy and stuff like that, then that might be a. Oh wow. Dark fantasy. If you like Redwall, if you like mystery games, like Open Sight is like an absolute treat, and it feels like that's the thing about indie games. They don't feel like they're pandering to the lowest common denominator the way that like mainstream things do, right? Like it felt like they wanted to make something very, very specific, and for the most part, they succeeded, and that makes me. I was really, really into it while it lasted. The ending did was kind of underwhelming, though. I will say that. It might have been a 10 out of 10 if like the climax was in any way satisfying. But I mean, I guess it wasn't terrible the way that like Professor Layton games are terrible, but it was yeah. So that's Omen Sight, and very, very hyped for that. I've also been playing. I've been playing a lot of stuff, indie stuff. Let's see, what else was I playing? What else was I playing? I honestly can't remember. I played like Battle Princess Madeline, but I wasn't into that. I think I don't like these blatant clone games of other things. Like this thing was like obviously a. Okay, I will say this about Battle Princess Madeline. Like that opening cinematic was like badass as fuck with like the cute little dog and like the dog dying. Like it's some like Yorkshire Terrier or something like that. Like it's some like princess in this sort of fantasy universe, like who has this like who goes to battle with like a little Yorkshire Terrier, and like I was watching this and I was just like, this is absolutely badass and adorable. And the dog dies, which like really, really surprised me, and I was really, really into that. But like the game itself is kind of underwhelming, and I don't know. It's a game some guy made for his daughter, so I guess I can't be too harsh for it. But I personally did not enjoy it. But yeah, Death Stranding. It feels like the biggest disaster of the year, and once again, considering this is a PlayStation product, you're not seeing any backlash from game journalists at all. Like, in fact, it feels rather like game journalists are damage controlling them, right? Like it feels like people are trying to make excuses for Kojima, justify what's going on here. Try to pretend the game has a niche when it clearly doesn't. Pretend it's more interesting than it is. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing I have seen in a long, long time. I am not impressed. Like, this is like, oof. I don't think I've been so annoyed by the media damage controlling a game since like Destiny, right? Like that one fell flat on its face too because people didn't like the live service model, And then the media was making excuses for it, like, you just got your expectations way too high. You have to be more reasonable about these things. Think of the poor AAA developers. It was unbelievable, and oof, they're still doing that. Like, Destiny is like the biggest disaster of a new IP this gen, and people will still push this narrative that it was like some misunderstood thing, and it's just, it's better now because of the patches. It's just, it's ridiculous. And they'll damage control No Man's Sky as well. I've acknowledged this before. You do 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 do. Okay, so Death Stranding. If this was a Nintendo game, like, it being like the most awful thing ever would be like this huge story, right? Nintendo is losing their touch. Miyamoto is to blame. Miyamoto needs to retire. Furukawa needs to hand over operating Nintendo to a Westerner. Like, you would see all this crazy shit, right? But that's not happening with Kojima. Like, no one outside of like the actual gaming community is really talking about Kojima at all. And no one at all, other than me, I think, is really acknowledging PlayStation's role in this. Well, to be fair, I haven't really talked about that yet. I've mostly been talking about like how terrible the game itself is. But man, is Death Stranding terrible or what? But yeah, Sony is to blame for this. They're the ones who handed Kojima that blank check. They're the ones who got him these Hollywood connections. They're the ones who, have been damage control. Like, I imagine they may be responsible for this whole thing where Kojima has this like inflated ego of himself, where he legitimately believes he's some auteur film director. It's just unbelievable. They needed to artificially create this franchise for their lackluster video game platform, and use Kojima for their own ends, and continue to do so even after losing, even after the whole Konami fallout. It's just unbelievable. Oof. So yeah, Konami did nothing. Well, maybe nothing is a bit of a strong word, because of course they like develop for PlayStation. They've done plenty wrong, but I think it might be safe to say, following the release of Death Stranding, that Konami might have been completely justified in firing Kojima, because like Metal Gear Solid 5 had tons of issues either that were also kind of ignored by the mainstream in favor of like hyping up this this big new PlayStation game. I haven't seen anyone like praise Metal Gear Solid 5 in years, by the way. I haven't seen anyone talk about it at all, unless it's like to acknowledge how disappointing it was. Like, even Metal Gear Solid 4, I think, gets more respect than 5 does. I really need to replay Metal Gear Solid. I really need to. I was thinking about this when a Death Stranding came out. I don't think it's. I don't think Death Stranding has a. Wait, what was it? What was I talking about? Death Stranding. I want to play the Metal Gear games again, because like I don't think I've played them since for like 7 years. Honestly, it's been a long time. So it's going to be really fun to like just finally go back and. Hang on, I'm fighting the boss. There we go. Awesome. All right, got it. I really want to replay Metal Gear Solid because I'm so out of the loop with I have with the lore and like what I think of like the characters and stuff like that. And I guess now that I'm technically an adult. Now that I am an adult, I should say, I might appreciate it more because like I was playing Metal Gear Solid 2. I played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 2 already, and I was surprised at how much I missed the whole classic Metal Gear thing with like the characters, the codex, just sneaking around, the general gameplay. And 2 is my least favorite of like the first 3. So I was kind of surprised with how much I enjoyed it. And I'll definitely have to go back and finish it. And I'll definitely talk about it in a video when I do. But oof. I mean, I love the first 3 Metal Gear games. I love 1, I love 3. I'm a huge fan of those, right? 4 is shit. Like there's like no getting around that. Like 4 is complete trash. Much like the PS3 is complete trash. But like I love 1 and 3, and I'm wondering whether I'm going to love 2 when like I go back to it because I don't think I've played that since 2010. Because like that's the one I never replayed because like I was so iffy about it when I played it for the first time. I'm definitely interested in seeing what I think of it when I go back to it. Oh yeah, Persona 5. I guess we could talk about that a bit. Persona 5 is one of the only PlayStation games that PlayStation owners have left. So it sort of has this reputation for being like the best thing ever, even though lots of people who are like fans of Persona 4 weren't entirely happy with it. So this is a game that really should have been on Switch already. Like, to be honest, Persona 5 R really should have been a Switch exclusive. It really should have been on Switch already, and we sort of have this weird sort of situation where like people are, desperate to have some sort of edge over like the Switch, or overhyping it. So, fanboys, I should say, are like overhyping it because like they legitimately have nothing else to play, and it's kind of amazing how like every couple of months we get a game that's probably better than Persona 5. Like we got like 3 Houses, we got Astral Chain, we got Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't know, like a lot. I don't think like a lot these Persona fans have gotten anything they've legitimately wanted to play since like Persona 5 came out, which was in early 2017. That would be like if Breath of the Wild came out and I didn't have anything to play since then. I actually have not replayed Breath of the Wild since that first playthrough because like I've been playing other games. Plus I've been busy, but I've been meaning to go back to it. Definitely want to play that again before the sequel. There are so many Zelda games these days that like I honestly cannot keep up. Like I don't think I've replayed Spirit Tracks at all since it first came out. I love that game. I haven't replayed Triforce Heroes. I would love to. I haven't replayed Phantom Hourglass since the first time I played it, I think. And it's mostly the handheld games. Like I'm going through them all. Like I'm on like the Oracle games right now. I got to finish those. I got to finish Majora's Mask. I played a little bit of Wind Waker. Wind Waker I know very, very well, though. I think it's mostly the handheld games that I haven't played in a while. Minish Cap, I think. I don't think I've played since like I 100% it like a decade ago, which I love. I love Minish Cap. Like Minish Cap, like I think is the first Zelda game I 100%ed, which is very, very, which like gives it a special place in my heart. So I'm very, very eager to replay it. I think I started a new file and was like really, really into it. And then like I just sort of stopped playing it because, because, that happens, like that's happened a couple of times with games. I guess that's technically happened with like Wind Waker now. Like I played it again, like intending to start a new file, but realized that I actually had one that I hadn't finished. So like I just started from there. I mean, I know Wind Waker well enough where like I don't even care. So I'll just start off whenever. Ooh, I can stream Wind Waker at this point. That might be fun. Just go exploring, go sailing, just hang out with the boys and girls in my subscribers. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I could stream Wind Waker HD. It'll be great. But yeah, there's so many like great games. It's hard to keep up. Like really, if you're a Nintendo fan, like if you're a PlayStation fan, you're always like trying to hype up like whatever you're supposed to hype up. But yeah, Nintendo fans are like just like drowning in content right now, or always have been. Like even in the Wii, like the Wii U had this reputation for like not having a ton of games, but like honestly, I was having more trouble keeping up then than I do now. Awesome. Let's see. Yo, guys. Breath of the Wild is like a game you can literally play for like thousands of hours. So like suggesting that like it's the only game at launch, like day one, that's not an argument. We were getting games, newer games, a couple of months later. Like we got ARMS in June, right? Was it June or May? I think it was June. Yeah. ARMS is the shit. Like I think ARMS might be like one of my most played Switch games. Actually, ARMS was amazing. Splatoon 2, like in July. Like you can't say that the Switch has no games. Like that's just plain delusional. Very excited, stoked to play Tamarin. Well, what's Tamarin? I've never heard of that one. I've never heard of Tamarin. Is it an indie game? So plus I was playing a Switch is like loaded with content right now. It's just Plus I'm like the reason I'm just playing N64 just because I want to. I actually am I am proceeding with my N64 collection. I've been ordering games online. I got 007, one of the 007 games. I got like Mischief Makers recently. I haven't played it since it got here. I need to get back on that. I ordered Mortal Kombat 4, which I've never owned. What was the other one? There was something else. I can't remember. But yeah, games from third-party sellers take forever to get here. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm kind of unhappy about that. Like it's taken a couple of weeks, I think, which is very surprising. I hope they're coming from the U.S. I hope that was automatic because I didn't think to check. I need to start checking because I keep getting games from like Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, which is bizarre to me. Are they still selling N64 games in Saudi Arabia? Well, these were used. And N64 games, this kind of surprised me. N64 games are really, really cheap. I'm not sure whether it's because of like the online retailers like bringing down prices, but I remember back in like the 2000s, looking for Super Nintendo games online was like a complete nightmare. Like you were expected to pay like $50, and I was expecting it to like get higher with time, but apparently like the demand has lowered somewhat. Because like I'm getting like a lot of games for like $10. It's unbelievable. Oof. Oh, is it really a Nintendo 64 3D? Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So maybe it'll be good. I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love Treasure. They're definitely one of my favorite developers. I wish they were still making games. The last game they ever produced was Sin and Punishment Star Successor, which I love and actually do need to replay. But the thing about that, I've been trying to beat Sin and Punishment 1 on hard mode, and I've never managed it. And I don't really want to move on to 2 until I can do that. So, Star's Successor has been sitting on my shelf, and I just have not played hard mode because I'm so committed to beating Sin and Punishment 1 one day. Eventually. Oof. It's going to be great when that happens. It's going to be such a great – it's such a great game. I am so disappointed it did not get a Western release. Like, why didn't they just be like, oh, here's another Star Fox-like game? That's all you would have to do to market it. But no, it's if it came out in the West, it might have the reputation for being the most insane N64 game in like existence. I cannot think of a single video game I've played ever that's as insane or incomprehensible as like Sin and Punishment. Like everything about it is the most ridiculous anime bullshit imaginable. You have like these giant robots. You have these kids fighting like entire armies of like aliens, like fighting giant monsters with swords. It's crazy. Smashing people out of windows. It's unbelievable. I love Sin and Punishment, and I'm liking Mischief Makers too. I don't know why I thought this, but I thought like Mischief Makers was a 2D shooter similar like Metal Slug or Contra, but apparently it's not. It's like a 2D puzzle platformer, which kind of surprised me, but it's so good. I don't really mind at all. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I still have not played Smash Ultimate since the new patch came out. I really need to get back on that. I have not been playing a lot of Smash. I've been so busy. I don't know. I think I'm burned out on Smash, to be honest with you. Like I spent so much time playing Smash 4 and trying to clear Smash and 100%ing Melee that like I am completely like burned out of Smash right now. I'm ready for like that period of time like in between Smash releases. It's weird to say, but I guess if you're like me and we're like waiting for Smash 4 for years, finally got it, finally played it, and then stopped playing it, and then immediately got like Smash Ultimate. Yeah, I'm kind of burned out. I would have been happy just playing Smash 4 again, but no, whatever. I mean, I love Ultimate, but it's like, yeah, I'm just burned out, I think. I don't even really feel that much of a desire to play the DLC. I don't like DLC and fighting games in general. I feel like all these characters should have been in the base game. And it's keeping Sakurai from working on like new games. So like we're not getting anything like Uprising probably ever again. So oof. Very, very disappointing. Ugh. Yeah, I need to replay Kid Icarus Uprising. That is like a game I've been really nostalgic for lately. It's I've played through it twice. It's fantastic. It was actually the first 3DS game I ever bought. Right? With that console I bought with my own money. Game I bought with my own money. It was, playing that for the first time. After seeing all that weird controversy around it, like it was like a magical experience. Like I completely fell in love, and I'm really anxious to go back to it. And it's one of my all-time favorite 3DS games, and I wish Sakurai was able to make more games like it, man. Smash is like too big for its own good, I think. At the very least, we're getting like acknowledgments to like really, really niche video game properties, right? Like Banjo-Kazooie, like King of Fighters, stuff Sakurai loves. So I'm sure he's like pretty satisfied with himself. I think the main thing I'm concerned about is like, nothing but Smash for the past decade. That's got to be a bummer. I wouldn't want to do that. 13 dislikes. Oh wow, yeah. I'm sure they'll go away when like the video actually gets updated. Like I do get like bombarded with the dislikes from certain individuals. So yeah, that happens all the time. Some people just don't like seeing my face. I'm that ugly. It must be all of my ex-girlfriends just coming onto the chat, just trying to ruin me. But nope, I'm too big to be ruined. Bigger than PewDiePie. Da 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 da. Yeah. Sony ponies are like incredibly salty. Like, especially, how are they handling the whole Death Stranding thing? Like, I cannot imagine they're handling it well. I saw a lot of damage control pre-release, but I haven't seen anything now that the game is actually out. You know, like, what are they saying about it now? I have no idea. I guess I could look on Twitter. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let's see, Death Stranding. I don't know how to say this without sounding like one of those people, but I have to talk about this. For some fucking reason in Death Stranding, Norman's feet are one of his most intricately detailed and well-sculpted parts of his in-game model. Like, they have no reason to be this good. Oh, no. But as it stands, all the text in Death Stranding is minuscule. This is not your first UI rodeo, Koji Pro. You know better than this. Death Stranding roller backpack mod win. I literally don't think I did anything for the Death Stranding main quest today. Maybe tomorrow. Let's look at the top. Like, that was the latest. Are we still in the damage control phase? Was so happy to get the collector's edition. If Nintendo did their own version of Death Stranding, play Death Stranding for a couple more hours, about 5-6 total now, and still enjoying it. Having fun traversing the world and balancing that with cargo with deliveries. What else do you do in this game? Love discovering items left behind by others. Pure joy. Also the meals and BTs. Oh, yes. Oh, and I love BB. If you call Breath of the Wild empty and you like Death Stranding, you have to apologize and repent. Those are the rules. Yeah, I have noticed that. That weird double standard where a lot of the people who were insisting that Death Stranding was empty, like Breath of the Wild was empty, are also defending Death Stranding. So it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I think it's a bunch of streamers trying to like defend the game at this stage. Wow. Da, 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 da. So yeah, I think we're in that phase where like a lot of these people who got the game early, people like Young Ye, people like that, they're people who've been chilling the game for a really long time. They're desperately trying to damage control the game, desperately trying to protect it, desperately trying to protect Kojima's honor and his legacy in order to benefit themselves. Like, it has nothing to do with them legitimately enjoying the game, and that's one of the things that's really frustrating to me personally about it, is that like it'd be one thing if they like legitimately enjoy the game of its own merits, but that's not the case. Like that never seems to be the case when it comes to like PlayStation products. It's always because of some underlying reason, right? Like in school, like people were praising PlayStation because like it was the cool thing to do, right? They didn't actually know anything about the games. They didn't actually play the games. They only like said they wanted PlayStation in order to like look more cool and mature than what they were. They wanted to like present themselves as being like cooler and more sophisticated than people who play Nintendo, right? And that's kind of extended to other things, like this whole. It's kind of extended to the actual marketing of these products. Oh, it actually came. It probably actually came from the marketing, because like this has been a problem for years, right? Where people presented like a PlayStation games as being cooler and more mature, or being better than Nintendo products, when that's really not the case. I can't get enough of this. This is becoming like an epidemic in recent years. What is with people seriously pushing for Castlevania Symphony of the Night to be like one of the best games ever made? Like, it isn't. Like, I've played that game recently. It's not even good. And yet you have people like acting as if it's like legitimately the best thing ever. I'm getting so annoyed by that, because like I get the impression that a lot of these people have never played the vast majority of Castlevania games. They've never played like Aria. They've never played Portrait of Ruin. They've never played Order of Ecclesia. I'll be fair, I still haven't gotten my hands on Order of Ecclesia. Not my fault. It's becoming kind of hard to find. But oh, by the way, I need to play Bloodstained. The patch for Bloodstained Switch has dropped, and I can actually. The game has apparently improved, so I actually feel comfortable in going out and playing the game again. So I'll probably stream that after I finish Luigi's Mansion 3. Actually, really looking forward to that. I don't know. Like, it really does feel like a lot of these people disrespecting Nintendo are just doing so for the sake of disrespecting Nintendo. And in the sort of opposite way, you sort of see this blind praise for PlayStation that doesn't really go anywhere, have any real it's not natural. Like, they're pushing for it because like they know it'll get them free stuff. They know it'll get them prestige. They know it'll sort of like benefit them in some way. It's not because they actually like or enjoy Death Stranding. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh yeah, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. That's it. That's the other one I have bought. Yeah, Limited Run Games was releasing an actual re-release of the cartridge. So as a result, a used copy was like something like $2 or something like that. So I got a copy even cheaper than I normally would. So yeah, I have a Episode 1 Racer. Once it gets here. Oh yeah, I think a Hat in Time physical might actually be in my mailbox. The Switch version, mind you. Yeah. A Hat in Time has to be like the most bizarre situation I've ever seen in my life. Like that's a really good example of how like developers will like shit on Nintendo fans for like absolutely no reason, presumably only to make themselves feel better about themselves. I don't know. I don't know what like the justification for it was, because like you see this all the time where they have this weird sort of justification for not putting the game on a Nintendo console, and then like continue to refuse to do it, even if there's like an obvious demand for it. Like, you can't make a game inspired by Super Mario Sunshine and then seriously try to say that like our game has no audience with like the Nintendo base. Like, that makes no sense. Yet they tried to do it. They seriously tried to do it. It was embarrassing. Well, I personally bought Symphony of the Night digital. Like, it's very easily attainable digitally, and I noticed not a lot of people talked about it when it was released on the PlayStation Classic. I noticed people weren't happy. People don't play the original. People don't play the digital version. People weren't happy about like the that PlayStation exclusive collection they released. I think it had like Symphony of the Night and Rondo on it. I haven't heard anyone talk about that at all. It's just a mess. Symphony of the Night has to be like one of the most overrated games out there right now. It's very, very frustrating. Seeing people seriously present this as like one of the best games of all time. And this is the really interesting thing too. Like, whenever people bring up these really fake PlayStation games that don't really deserve the attention they get, they never really explain why these games are so good, right? Like it's sort of like Undertale in that respect, where like they'll like, ooh, it's popular. You can't criticize it, and it's just ridiculous. I'm not happy. Oops. I am not happy about that at all. Oops. Yeah, I've never played Rondo. Wait, no, I played Dracula X. That's right. Dracula X is a bit different. It's like a different version of Rondo, right? So I've never technically played the real version of Rondo. I didn't care for Dracula X. I much prefer Super Castlevania 4. Yeah. Some fans will like really shit on Super Castlevania 4, and I don't really know why. Are they that like dedicated to like not being able to attack in all all 8 directions? It's just, I really love like Super Castlevania 4. Like every time I played it, like I played a little bit of it when like the Super Nintendo Classic came out, and I didn't want to leave for work because I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever. I was having so much fun when I last played it. Actually, I should play it again. Like, do I have my? Yeah, I don't have my Classic plugged in. I got to get back to that. There are a couple of games on it I still want to play. So, what's? My throat kind of hurts. Let's see. How long have I been streaming? About an hour. Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I will be streaming Luigi's Mansion 3 again. I could probably just stop now and go straight to that. I'll finish this game first before I do that. Oof. And I would love to play some. Wait a minute. I would love to play a Hat in Time too, but I'm not sure if I'll get to that tonight. I'm not sure where I am, how far I am in Luigi's Mansion. I was going after the kitty, that like terrifying as fuck cat. The scariest fucking thing I think I've seen in a Luigi's Mansion game ever. It legitimately like shocked me when I saw it. Oops. Oh, Super Castlevania 4. Oh yeah. Did I say there were Sony fanboys? No. They're classic fanboys. I didn't mean to imply they were classic fanboys. I meant like, yeah, people who hate Super Castlevania 4 are like classic fanboys. They're not Sony fanboys. There is a difference. Yeah, I would love to play Bloodstained. I would love to play A Hat in Time. But I got to finish Luigi's Mansion 3 first. I am committed to finishing that tonight. Finishing that next, I should say. Really, I should have finished that like the day it came out because I love those games. Oh yeah, Dark Moon is really good, by the way. There are things that Dark Moon does do better than Luigi's Mansion 3, by the way. I just thought I would like to throw out there. And I think Federation Force. Now that I think about it, I think Federation Force, which of course came from the same development team, so this isn't completely out of left field. I do think Federation Force might actually be, just as good, if not better, than Luigi's Mansion 3, because I remember, having a lot of fun with it. So it was a lot of fun, I should say. I definitely got to get that up. Got to get a team going for that, so we could I could replay it again and give more specific thoughts. But yeah, Federation Force is the shit, dude. I'll definitely say like the online is probably. Oh, there we go. I'll definitely say the online is probably better than the online in Federation Force is probably way better than Luigi's Mansion 3. Well, I still haven't played the online with Luigi's Mansion 3, so maybe it's not fair, but whatever. And Next Level Games has like really good. is getting this reputation for having really good multiplayer in Nintendo games. Like Strikers, they made Federation Force, which is great. I really hope they make a really good multiplayer focused IP next. I don't know. They could probably do an F-Zero. I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh yeah. The Super Nintendo was way better than like the competition. It was better than like the Genesis. It was better than the TurboGrafx 16. It was better than like the Sony PlayStation. It's like it is just like the GOAT console. I don't see it ever as being surpassed. It's kind of amazing how good it is. Yeah, Sega. I had to get around to playing my my Sega collection because I have no idea how I feel about this. But like generally speaking, I don't see that like. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of these classic Sega games. Like I don't like the first 3 Sonics. I don't like a lot of stuff. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh towards Sonic, but I mean, it's clearly not as good as like the Super Nintendo stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to like start collecting Super Nintendo games. Like I'm getting like all these N64 games for cheap. I honestly think that like I'll have my collection rounded out. Like I'll have like every relevant N64 game in like a matter of a couple of years. So like I think I'm going to probably even sooner than that, but I think I'll definitely want to. God damn! What was that? Yes, I have played Sonic Mania. I really I liked it. Like Sonic Mania is honestly probably my favorite Sonic game, and that's kind of ridiculous. Wait a minute, what? I don't know what's with this level. I always die on it all the time. All right. Yeah, I love Sonic Mania. It's by far my favorite. It has like everything fun about Sonic. Well, it doesn't have any of the nonsense. It's a lot like Mega Man 9 in that respect. But I think I like Mega Man more than Sonic anyway. Oh yeah. By the way, I spent all of yesterday playing Mega Man 4, 5, and 6. And I was going to make a review of these. I guess I could talk about them now. Yeah, Mega Man 4, 5, and 6. I liked all of them. Liked, but like I can. Wait, what the fuck? I liked all of them, but they all have like really weird. Well, 5 and 6. I mean, they have these really weird qualities to them that kind of like brings down the experience, right? Like at that point, it feels a lot like the developers were just sort of like, okay, we know how to make Mega Man games now. We're not going to try to do anything different or unique. We're just going to like throw stuff in there, and it works. Like there are interesting aspects in both. I'm being too harsh, actually. Come to think of it, yeah, because 5 and 6 like have the reputation for being the worst out of like the original 6. But I'll be honest, I think I do prefer them over Mega Man 3, which is generally really beloved, and I was kind of surprised by that. I think it's because like 5 and 6 don't have as much bullshit in it. Like it doesn't have like those repeat stages, which I hated. It doesn't have like. It's mostly the repeat stages, I think. I don't like those at all. Those completely kill Mega Man. Those completely kill Mega Man 3 for me. I cannot stand those stages. Oh yeah, Freedom Planet is like legit the best Sonic game. Like I am not kidding you. It is the best. You have to play it. It is fantastic. I love Freedom Planet more so than Sonic Mania. Actually, I would recommend Freedom Planet over Sonic any day. Yeah. It's weird. I was just saying that like I hate these these clone games, but like Freedom Planet is actually a blatant improvement over Sonic in like pretty much every way. Like you have like those crazy Gunstar Hero inspired boss fights. You have like an attack button, which is phenomenal. You have like these incredibly lengthy, detailed levels that sort of like have a lot going on in them. It's insanely fun and creative. I love Freedom Planet. I think they announced a sequel, so I would definitely suggest that. I would definitely suggest that you be look into that because Freedom Planet has my seal of approval. I would actually, maybe I should actually replay it. I can do it on stream. Yeah, set up my Wii U. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff I want to stream right now, including like Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I want to talk about that before release because that game sort of has this very, very poor reputation, despite being like the best thing ever. Devil's Third as well. There are a lot of Wii U games I would love to stream. Star Fox Zero, Devil's Third, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Color Splash maybe. I don't know, man. Like maybe not Color Splash because like I would rather play the. At this point, I would rather just play the original Paper Mario games, not because I prefer them, or well, I guess I do, but not because I want. I don't like Color Splash, but because I don't know, like I just haven't played them in a while. That's right. Like Color Splash came out in 2016. I haven't played like Paper Mario since before then. So the 1,000-Year Door, I think too. So yeah, I gotta get back to that. But what the fuck is with? Okay. All right, there we go. Oh, I did not care for ukulele. Yes. I gotta play Smash. I probably should do that tonight. I still have not played Terry. I actually played King of Fighters. I was actually playing Fatal Fury, like instead. So yeah, I have been playing as Terry, just not in Smash. Terry is just not my favorite SNK character. I love SNK. I do prefer it over Capcom fighting games, I would say, but I am just I just don't play Terry. Like I play like Rock and Mark of the Wolves, so I prefer Rock over Terry. I just don't like Terry's design. Nothing against Terry personally, but I just he's just not my guy. You know. I was really hoping for what's her name? Nakaruru from Samurai Showdown. I love Samurai Showdown. So it was disappointing that like Nakaruru didn't get that letter. I was so mad. Yeah, I need to stretch more. I'm just Oh, Nakaruru does have a Mii costume. Yeah, I don't look at Mii costumes. I don't think I've played costumes at all, Mii fighters at all since I got Smash Ultimate. So I don't really care for them. Like, what's the point? I just. Oh yeah. SNK. Unlike Square Enix, who are complete cunts about this, Square Enix, SNK actually allowed Sakurai to put in like classic music tracks. So like they got like an insane amount of music for this. Like they got like 50 tracks or something like that. Very impressive. Like I'm not saying that like the DLC isn't good. It's very, very good. I just haven't played it myself. Oof. Yeah, I want to beat this game, but I've come too far to give up now. I guess I could just come back later. Yeah, hang on. So yeah. Yeah, Square Enix probably has a lot of problems behind the scenes. I'm not really sure what their deal is. I guess they really don't want to support Nintendo. Like, where is our Final Fantasy? Like, we're just getting ports of old games, which is fine because like the old games are better. But yeah, it should not have taken as long as it did for like Final Fantasy VII to come on a Nintendo console. Like, it should have happened, on the N64 to begin with. But it also should have been. It should have happened by like the GameCube for sure. Like, they should have kept remaking them for Nintendo consoles, right? They should have done 5 and 6 and then remade 7 for the DS or the 3DS, and then that's all they would have to do. Like, they didn't need to ruin everything with this terrible remake that's trying to. Like, here's the thing about Final Fantasy VII fans. I've noticed. I love Final Fantasy VII, but it does seem to fall into that camp I was talking about of like PlayStation fans not knowing what an actual video game is. Because like I genuinely get the impression that a lot of these Final Fantasy VII fans have never actually played the game, and it's. So like, the amount of people like defending Final Fantasy VII R is just unbelievable. Well, every time they give a new trailer, like people who aren't like clearly aren't Final Fantasy fans too. So I don't know, this stranglehold that Sony has over the industry. It's kind of ridiculous. Oops. Yeah, I am a fan. Let's see. Yeah, that reminds me. I need to play Dragon Quest. Like, I was playing Dragon Quest 1, trying to beat it. I got lost, and oof. I just haven't gotten around to clearing that one yet. I guess I could do it. There we go. Got it. Cleared it. All right. One more level to go, and then I guess I'll play Spider-Man N64, which is a good one. That game is really starting to show its age. Like I was saying on stream, like several times, it's my favorite like superhero game of all time. But man, it is reaching that point, man, where it's just like, oof. I guess I'm too far removed from like back when I first played it and when I was like experiencing this for the first time, because like that game was kind of my introduction to Spider-Man. And it's like so well done, like so well presented, and so many cool things in that game. That's like completely different than most other things that I was playing at the time. I guess it's just showing it. I guess I just played it so much. Like it's kind of sad, but like a lot of these N64 games, Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart 64, like I've played them so much. I've done like literally everything in them. Like I just can't like go back and play them anymore, or at least not for a long time. Diddy Kong Racing, I think, is I'm about ready to go back to that one. I think there is there's a little bit of stuff to do in that one still, though. I don't think I've ever unlocked TT. I don't quite remember. Oops. Ah, shit. I hate this game. All right.
I see all you've learned is how to lose.
Good choice. Let's see what you have stored away.
All right. Um.
It's just a matter of time, Tarzan.
What was I? Dragon Quest. I bought like all 3 of the first 3. I bought 11, but I've only been playing the first one. I've been trying to beat them all, and the first one I need to get back and finish it. I got pretty far in. I was enjoying it more than I thought I would, to be honest with you. But I just haven't finished it. Like so many other games I own right now. It's a long one. Well, not really that long, but you know what I mean. I am super, super hyped for Sword and Shield. I've seen nothing about them that makes me skeptical at all. I am very, very impressed by what I've been seeing.
Sure. Let's see what you have stored away. Hold on.
So I think they're going to be very, very good. You really can't tell how good a Pokemon game is going to be before it comes out because like they always keep the same general formula. It's really just a matter of personal preference, I think. Lots of people like Gen 3 and 4, and like at the first installments for Gen 4. I don't care for those too much. I love Gen 5. Some people hate Gen 5. I love Gen 7. A lot of people. I don't know. I can't take critics for Gen 7 seriously. I really can't because it really does feel like people are just trying to push this narrative that like Game Freak is bad now when that's clearly not the case. I don't know. I'm not too impressed with like the backlash with the controversy. I just like so much of it is like so blatantly false. I just can't take it seriously. Lots of the new Pokemon look cool. I love the setting. So what the fuck? Ah, man. Yeah, I love Pokemon personally. I've been replaying like all of like all the old ones. Like I'm trying to catch them all at this point. So I have been playing a lot of. I played the first generation. I'm on the second. I'm hoping I can get everything for the new games. I have like 2 3DSs now, so I should be able to collect a good portion of them, if not all of them. So hopefully I can do that. I was still working on a Sun when I stopped. So basically I've been playing like the originals. I've been playing the originals. I've been playing Silver. I've been playing Sun. I own Ultra. I own Omega Ruby, and I haven't played it yet. I need to get back onto that. So that's like something like 4, like representation of like 4 generations right there. So hopefully I'll be able to get like a good chunk of the Pokemon through that. I would hope. I would want. Travis Touchdown to be in the game. Like all my other dream characters are pretty much in. Like I wanted Banjo-Kazooie, I wanted Bayonetta. I got them. The main thing is just getting Bayonetta. Like just getting Travis at this point. That's really about it. I honestly can't think of anyone else. Like maybe some really obscure ones, or maybe some really out there choices. I was thinking that like I would want a Mario Kart to be in the game, like have it use like the green shells and stuff like that. That might be fun, but. Oof. Yeah, Travis Touchdown, I think, is my big one. I mean, it's probably going to be another third-party character, right? The 5th one, a big one. Like, who did they pick? Yeah, I don't know who they could possibly have picked for the final spot. Like, I am just completely baffled. It might be someone completely obscure, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be like a major character. that you would like never have thought to be in Smash? Yep. Yeah, I think it's like going to be an important character, like culturally, not a fan request character. Because like, who are even the fans like asking for these days? Like, no one relevant, right? Like, we got Banjo Kazooie, that was the big one. I mean, yeah, I would like a lot of these rare characters to come back. Like, of course, I would want like James Bond. I would want James Bond, a rare character. I would want James Bond. I would want Johanna Dark. I would want the Jet Force Gemini guys. I would want Crystal. I would want. Yeah, there's really a limitless amount of characters they could use, but yeah, people are gonna be pissed if it's like Edelgard or something like that. I would personally really like Edelgard, but I could see why Sakurai might not want to do that. Oops. I don't know, like I don't know this arbitrary rule of like there being too many Fire Emblem characters. I don't care for that because I like my Fire Emblem characters. I want more of them. But yeah, Edelgard would be a good choice. I don't know, Astral Chain would be a good choice. I really like yeah, Travis Strikes Again. I really want Travis. Dimitri might be fine. Conquer would be great. Yeah, Sora. Yeah, Sora would be a good choice. But we are. Wait, have we gotten any? Yeah, we've already gotten our Square Enix rep from with the hero. So I don't think it's going to be a Square Enix rep. I love how like no one is seriously suggesting that like a Western character is going to get in the game. That's never going to happen. It's going to be a Japanese character for sure. Yeah. Well, we'll probably hear news of this last character with the next major Nintendo Direct, and I'm really excited for that. It might be this year, it might be this month, it might be this month or January. It's I would think it would be not until January though, because of like just the timing of it. Yeah, I would say Sora is probably the most heavily requested character. Well, I don't make a habit of like following what the Smash community does because like they're always raging about something. I just, damn, it got me. The Game Awards, yeah, just like Joker was. Yeah, I thought the same. So we'll have to see if that turns out to be the case. But I'm yeah, it could happen. Game Awards are direct, I think. I would rather it not be at the Game Awards because we don't need to give the Game Awards credibility. Like, are we really going to like suggest that like Dragon Age Inquisition is like a Game of the Year contender? Like, really? Oh yeah. By the way, I need to get my stream set up so I could like do live reactions to those things. So I got to figure that out. So if anyone could help me find a good program for that, that would be great. Because I have no idea what I'm doing. I keep looking it up, but I can never figure it out. I'm sure I have like the resources for it. I have like everything else, but I have more than most people because like I'm charismatic and charming as fuck. But nope. Oh, here we go. You just duck until. Oops. Got him. All right. All right. All right. Beat the game.
Good idea. Always best to save now and again, isn't it?
Yep.
Bye-bye now.
Awesome.
Look at that. You finished the whole thing. Way to go. Now you definitely have to try the hard difficulty level.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3. Yeah, it could be Game of the Year. Maybe. Yeah, Game of the Year is definitely going to be a Nintendo game because there's really nothing else when you get right down to it. Oh boy, we're playing Spider-Man, boys. Spider-Man in 64. Ooh. Yeah, playing this kind of made me want to play Spider-Man PS4, but then I remembered that, like, oh wait, that game is boring as fuck. So no, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, I could easily buy a PS4 right now if I really wanted to, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Ooh. Yeah, my N64 has been having trouble turning on lately. I'm getting kind of worried about it. Come on, I was just playing you. Come on. Wow, it does not want it. It does not want to turn on. Work, Spidey, work. There we go. Oh no, it just turned black. You know what? It almost turns on, but then doesn't quite manage it. By the way, did they use the voice actors from the Spider-Man cartoon for this? Because I might actually have to watch that cartoon because I remember it being really, really good. There we go. We got it. A lot of these old Marvel cartoons were actually my favorite Marvel material ever produced. I really like a lot of these old cartoons. So I might have to go back and revisit them someday. All right. Load. Hang on. Smash could be Game of the Year. Maybe. Witcher 3 got Game of the Year twice because of the DLC. That was the worst thing ever. Like that alone is like the reason I don't take Witcher 3 seriously. They were so desperate to have like something to talk about in like 2016. They just used The Witcher 3 again. It was unbelievable. Game journalism is so unbelievably corrupt. I hate it. Seriously though, this game has like some of the best set pieces I've seen in my life. Like you have like you're fighting on a subway against like these giant lizards. You have to like stay on top of it. It's great. Way better than like whatever you do in Spider-Man PS4, I'm sure. Oof. Yeah, the reason I'm playing this now is because this was developed by the same team that did the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, which I also played recently and also really enjoyed. Oh, by the way, am I the only one who thinks that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 is way, way better than Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2? Like, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was the most critically acclaimed game ever for like a really long time. And I think the original is better. I think it like has better level design. I think it has better I think it's more fun to play. I just I like the objectives better. Like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Pro Skater 2 has all these weird objectives that aren't all that fun. Yeah, but I really enjoyed both. Yeah, turning on like the gravity mode for like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and like just going to town with all this crazy shit, like that is like the most fun I've ever had with the cheat code ever. Just seeing all the weird stuff you can do. Well, maybe the action replay where Ocarina of Time where you can like skip certain portions of the game, that's better, but that's an action replay. That's not a real code. I miss AR so much. I have no idea what like the cheating scene is like these days and why it stopped, but man, like using like Game Sharks, using like ARs, it was like, damn, that's so much fun. Yeah. Nobody trusts the media in like anything. Like this Death Stranding thing is just another example of this. Like they're paid off shills. That's all there is to it. The gaming media is completely corrupt. Fake news, you could say. Yeah.
Where am I now?
Yeah, Death Stranding is like, oof. Death Stranding really should be like that moment where like PlayStation fans really start to like wonder like what is going on here? Like they really need us to start asking questions. And I'm not sure if that's going to be how likely that is because they've put up with a lot of bullshit over the years, right? Like they damage control like a studio shutting down. They damage control IPs not existing anymore. It's just unbelievable. Like the amount of stuff they will sort of like ignore. I love the level design in this game. It's so good. All right.
What do we have here?
I mean, people always talk shit about like Spider-Man 2 being like the best one, but this one actually feels like an adventure. Like it actually feels like a comic book plot. And oof. Yeah. I don't think anyone would like ever suggest that. Oof. Yeah, gaming YouTubers are corrupt. I'll always say that, but I think they're not as corrupt as gaming media. I think everyone can kind of see that. It's kind of becoming a joke. Like the gaming media is just so unreliable, so ridiculously biased. But yeah, that's not to say YouTubers are like perfectly innocent, right? You have a lot of people who are just sort of who are like corrupt. Like Yang Ye, he's a YouTuber. He's one of the biggest shields for Death Stranding out there. Oof. Ah, no, I did it. I hate that. I died in the most embarrassing way possible.
Where am I now?
I mean, Yeah. I've been pretty happy with Shovel Knight so far. Well, I was happy with the base game, and the thing that they still put out free content for it is mind blowing. It's amazing that people like Damage Control, like No Man's Sky, for like, oh, they're putting new content in the game, and no one's really acknowledging what Yacht Club is doing, with their better game. It's just it's so obviously like a shill, like. But yeah. I love Shovel Knight. Actually, I need to replay it. It's been a while. It's been a while. I don't think I've played it since like at all since the last update came out. I don't know, man. Like I personally really like the base game, but the updates aren't really doing it for me. I mean, I guess I already love the game anyway, so it's not really a big deal. But yes, I played Spectre of Torment. I played. I didn't like Spectre of Torment. I like the Plague Knight one, Plague of Shadows, but I didn't care for Plague of Torment so much. A Spectre of Torment so much. There was something about it that just. I don't know. Certain aspects of the plot are sort of like losing me. Oh no! Why is it resetting? Okay, I don't understand. Okay. Yeah, I don't usually play on hard mode, so I guess I'm not used to the water coming back. Well, the thing about like the updates, it's basically the same game with like some minor additions to like the lore and like a different character. And I don't know. I don't know, man. Like Shovel Knight was like perfect the way it was, and like when you add like a pointless update to that, it feels kind of superfluous and like unnecessary. So you just can't help but criticize it. Yeah. And I love Shovel Knight too. So, oof. All right. Yeah, Shovel Knight. I don't know why people like stop talking about Shovel Knight. It's so much better than a lot of these other indie games, like Undertale for example. Like Shovel Knight, like actually deserves its reputation. It just, and like I was expecting to hate Shovel Knight going into it. Like I was just like, okay, is this really game of the year? But no, it was legitimately really fun. Yeah, sure. So yeah, I got to replay Shovel Knight. I got to replay Freedom Planet. Man, there's a lot of really good indie games I've been wanting to go back to. That's one of the things I was wondering when like I was getting into indie games. Like, am I going to want to replay these games? Like I replay my favorite games, and apparently I do. Like more so than like these big AAA games that people praise, like Spider-Man 2. I don't replay that game. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's very overrated, actually. Oops. Spider-Man 2, it's been a long time since I played it, but man, I always preferred this, N64 over Spider-Man 2 because it feels like Spider-Man 2 does not have the. Oh yeah. Cuphead is getting DLC. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that actually because I'll actually be able to stream it and it'll be great. And I'm hoping I'll be one of the first to beat the game. So, well, to beat the DLC, so I'll actually be able to compete with these people, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Wait, what do you do in this room? Wow, I can't remember what you do in this room. Oh, here we go. Damn, I love the music in this. It's so good. Dare, dare, dare. Yeah, I thought Cuphead was kind of overrated, to be honest with you. I think it's mostly popular because of its art style. I still really like it, though. I mean, I liked it reasonably enough. It's just a Contra game for me. Like, if you like Cuphead, like, just play Contra. It's great. I mean, yeah, I liked it. I just didn't think it was, like, Game of the Year worthy. Like, people were saying it had, like, the best music and, like, ooh, it's the hardest game ever. I didn't think it was that good. I mean, it's better than modern games. Don't get me wrong. But... Oh, come on. Ah, damn. Yeah. Cuphead DLC. I'm definitely getting that right away. I'm definitely interested in seeing what they come up with. Yeah, we need more female bosses in games. All these Cuphead characters, we need to have like female characters. Oops, shit, fuck. Oh yeah. 2017 had like lots of good games. So many. I still have not played Yakuza 0, and I was like, that was one of the games I wanted to play the most. I still have not gotten it yet because they haven't ported it to my console of choice, and I'm not getting a PS4 for it. Yeah, it might have been definitely the best in the modern generation, like in the post like Super Nintendo era. Like 2017, like was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Especially by modern standards, where often you don't get good games at all from like non-Nintendo developers. So yeah, to think you got like Persona 5 and like Yakuza 0 and stuff that like people actually legitimately like, it's just unbelievable. Oh, come on, really? Okay. Yep. Persona 5. Yeah, Persona 5 should have had a Switch port already. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're okay, like Sony is probably like forcing them not to do it, but it needed to happen already. Like the demand is there. They should have done it like immediately after the Joker thing. They should have announced Joker and then been like, okay, if you want to know who this character is, buy Persona 5 on Switch, and that's all they would have had to do. But now they've sort of blown their chance. Like when you compare it to like Dragon Quest 11, right? Like you have this relatively, this series that hasn't been relevant for a while, like coming back, and the developers actually, what the fuck? I timed that perfectly. The developers like actually putting the game on Nintendo hardware, like Dragon Quest 11 actually did well, like for a Dragon Quest game. Like Persona 5 would have done well if it was released on Switch. They have no excuse to like, continuing to like with their bullshit of just, making it PlayStation exclusive, making a paid update. That in and of itself is kind of frustrating to me that they're updating Persona 4 with this like really outdated, like sort of expanded re-release sort of thing. Like in this modern era where like DLCs are very, very easy to do. It's very frustrating. Oh man, I just barely made it. Oh man. This game is still intense. I love this creative level design that uses Spider-Man's powers very, very well, very, very effectively. Gotta keep moving. It actually feels like a game, Like it doesn't feel like. That's what I hate about open worlds. You can't create like situations like that. Like this game has like so much more creativity than like open world games do. And it's like replayable too. I don't find open world games to be all that replayable usually. Yeah. I would put like all of the Persona games on Switch. Like I would love like a Persona collection, but I'm not sure how likely that is. Persona 4, I would buy again. I haven't really played it, but I would buy it on Switch. What time is it? 10? Yeah. Is it really only 10? Wow. Oof.
Where are you? Every chain won't last much longer.
Oh man, I love how he taunts you. Like I've never. It's amazing how how well this is handled, considering this is like an established property.
I bet the right combination of switches. All of the sewer pass gates. Guess again. Why, you stupid? Hurry up, Spidey. What is taking you so long?
All right. Let me see here.
Guess again.
What are you talking about? I solved the puzzle.
Ooh, look at the big brain on Spidey.
There. That's the last switch.
Come back here, Venom.
All right. Yeah, Persona. Atlas really. This feels really strange, but it feels like Atlas has sort of like reached this point where they can't really continue with what they've been doing. Like they've sort of established. They have Persona 5, and really not a whole lot left. What have they released since Persona 5? Like, it feels almost like nothing. It's kind of amazing that like they could go that period of time with like without any major releases at all, and it really makes me concerned about their future. Atlas is Atlas is oof. Well, they need to they need to fix their situation for sure.
Come to Papa. Are you
You went the wrong way.
Warner? Starting to sweat again, Parker.
I mean, this game has like mazes in it. It has like these platforming elements. It has these like action elements. It never stops being fun, even when you like played this before. Like that final boss is still really unique and creative. I can't think of a whole lot like it.
Where are you?
Okay, so Wow. I just solved that maze without even like finding the lizard. I just was able to do it by memory. Wow. Mary Jane.
Is anybody there? Help me! Please!
You made it better. I'd like to see your
Damn. Okay. So yeah, to establish this setup, like a big-titted Mary Jane is hanging by her wrists over like this giant vat of water, and she's gonna drown if you don't save her. So, oof. So I get it. The game is just really, really creative with how it sets these things up. Ooh. So yeah, he's not like actively fighting you. He's sort of like going around us, hitting these switches to try to drown her. Oops. I love how she calls you Peter. Like, not even like trying to hide it. Not even trying to call you Spider-Man. She just wants her man. It's legitimately really charming. I'm not even like a Spider-Man fan, really, but I still really like them. Oops. Top 10 video game romances. Yeah, maybe I should do that for Valentine's Day. I've not made a top 10 video in a while. I was planning on doing like a top 10 Yoshi's Island level video, but I never got around to making it, and I really wanted to. I'm still in the middle of playing that game, like 100%ing it again. So I'll probably still make it, but it hasn't happened yet. Oops. My favorite game, Yoshi's Island. I was just talking about it actually. Love that game. That or No More Heroes. I was wondering whether I prefer No More Heroes over it now, because like I'm at that point where like I'm starting to reconsider which one I like more. But like I haven't played No More Heroes in a while, so I probably just want to play it again. Whew. Symbiotes. All right.
Oh, thank you, Spider-Man.
Let me see here. Oops. I think I'm ready to take a break, have some food, and then get back to streaming Luigi's Mansion 3. I love this game, but I think I'm about ready to take a break from it, actually. So yeah. Yep. So I think I'm gonna get on Twitch here soon and stream some more Luigi's Mansion 3. So if you're interested in that, please check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/Super Nintendo Power. I'm sure if you look at like the Luigi's Mansion thing, you'll see me there. So I'll see you all shortly after I have a little bit of snacks, take a little bit of a break, and then I'll see you all later. Thank you for tuning in. Spider-Man N64 rules.